Narcissist, or empathy erosion. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. For the purposes of helping people understand about narcissism, I categorize people into 4 groups: the narcissists, narcissistic people who are not narcissists, normals, and empaths. The narcissists have no emotional empathy. The other 3 groups do have emotional empathy in differing amounts and in relation to differing applications. What has become clear is that as the years have rolled by, there has been an overall reduction of empathy exhibited in the world. There has been an increase in self-entitled behaviour. There has been an increase in haughty arrogance. Not all of this, of course, is as a consequence of the behaviour of narcissists, but it can be exhibited by non-narcissists who are normals, narcissistic people, even to some extent empaths. All of this is advantageous to my kind because it means that the environment which is natural to us, namely one whereby we act with entitlement, we act with dismissiveness and haughty behaviours, where we exhibit no emotional empathy, becomes more normalised, and thus it allows us to move undetected far more readily. This is why my work has become increasingly important, to help you recognise narcissists and to detect them in an environment where it has become increasingly harder to do so. I explain regularly that in order to make a determination as to whether somebody is a narcissist, you must look at behaviour over a sustained period of time. But it is often useful to see if there are suitable indicators which would demonstrate that an individual may well be a narcissist, or are you witnessing something else? I regularly give this example. Let us say that you have walked into a convenience store. There is a lady in there. She's shouting, she's swearing, she's throwing produce around, damaging it. She's trying to attack the storekeeper. She's trying to take money out of the till. What are we witnessing? Well, she certainly seems to be acting without any emotional empathy for the storekeeper and the other customers. She's acting in an entitled manner. She's showing a lack of boundary recognition in taking goods which aren't hers and damaging them, and also trying to steal money. She doesn't seem to be showing any accountability for her behaviour, and therefore we are seeing a lot of narcissistic indicators. But is she a narcissist? Well, we don't know, because we don't know if this is a frequent and habitual behaviour of hers or a one-off. For instance, it might be the case that she has an ill husband at home who can't work. She has 3 children to look after and she has just been made redundant. She's attempted to purchase goods and a card has been declined because of lack of funds. This has sent her over the edge, resulting in a diminution in her emotional empathy, causing her to act out in the way that she has. Commonly, people bandy the term narcissist around rather too easily, often just using it for someone engaging in behaviour that they disapprove of. That doesn't make somebody a narcissist. One has to look at a wide range of behaviours over a sustained period of time. But there's also the problem that emotional empathy as a whole is becoming eroded, and the prime driver of that, social media. Not only is social media a honeypot for my kind, because it provides an environment which allows a narcissist to extend control over a greater number of people, draw fuel from a greater number of people, acquire character traits from a greater number of people, and of course access residual benefits such as money and facade management. It also means that people who are not narcissists behave in a narcissistic fashion in the pursuit of views. I've explained some of these behaviours in my series, What Causes People to Make Content About This One's Wife. And if you'd like to understand more about the mentality of people who do that, I'd encourage you to watch that series. But social media, in the pursuit of views, likes, comments, and ultimately money, has started to drive down people's emotional empathy. It's caused people to fake videos and pass them off as something legitimate, which demonstrates either an absence or diminution of empathy for the audience to try and trick them in that way. In some instances, it's patently clear that it's fake, and the creator knows this and wants you to know that it's quite clearly obvious. But in other instances, it is done in a way to try and deceive. In other instances, the pursuit of the film goes beyond all else, that the pursuit of views goes beyond the pursuit of compassion. that the individual themselves may not be a narcissist, but their behaviour is certainly of a narcissistic ilk, given the fact that they're more concerned with ensuring that they've got the film, that they've got the footage, that they're going to get the likes, that they've got the drama, that the needs and concerns of other people are pushed to the wayside. This doesn't make the person a narcissist, but they are behaving in a narcissistic fashion. And because many more people see that social media is an actual formal career for them, seeing, of course, the success of a small number who make huge amounts of money from it, they're encouraged to go in pursuit of this, although most will fail. The bulk of YouTube channels get nowhere, but this doesn't stop people trying. I'm now going to show you a piece of footage which you may have come across, and I'll give you the background to what has happened, as it was reported in People magazine by Charlotte Phillip. A YouTube star, who admittedly I'd never heard of, but then he's way younger, he crashed his $200,000 McLaren sports car while live streaming, and a clip of the incident has gone viral. During a live stream on the platform Kick on the morning of Saturday, October the 5th, 20-year-old Jack Doherty was filming himself and a friend, he referred to as Michael, while driving down a Miami highway in his custom-designed McLaren 570S. A video of the incident, which has since been removed from Kick, shows Doherty glancing down at his phone while driving as it rains heavily, according to the outlet. He suddenly loses control of the car and it skids across several lanes before veering into a metal barrier. A video shared on Doherty's X account shows the aftermath of the incident, in which he calls for assistance as some bystanders who seemingly pulled over to help break open the driver's side window. Doherty continues filming and can be heard asking one of the people assisting him to hold his camera as he gets out of the car. "My fucking car," Doherty says in the video before calling out to his passenger, "Are you good?" The footage shared on X also shows Michael with blood dripping down his face, and in another video on Doherty's account shows the pair sitting in what appears to be a hospital room as a doctor stitches Michael's face. More than 185,000 people were viewing Doherty's Kick stream at the time of the crash, the Daily Mail and TMZ reported. In a YouTube video posted on his channel in June 2023, Doherty revealed that the McLaren cost $202,850 and he had since wrapped the car in a custom blue paint splattered design. The content creator's Kick account was taken down following the incident, and his page now directs to an error message. The streaming platform's community guidelines state that its users must prioritise your safety and the safety of those around you by avoiding dangerous behaviour. Prioritise safety for yourself, your audience, the public, and anyone else involved, the guidelines add. If someone is in danger or needs help, turn your camera away and contact local EMS immediately. In a statement given to People, Kick said that it does not condone illegal activity, which is why we swiftly took action and moved to ban this creator from the platform. After Doherty's video of the aftermath garnered more than 14 million views on X, many of his fellow YouTubers and live streamers shared posts on the platform criticising Doherty's behaviour. "We live in a world where fame is chased harder than compassion," streamer Dakotaz wrote in one post responding to the clip. A kid, more concerned with recording and texting, didn't even check on his friend in the passenger seat. His first thought was his car. This is the illness we face. Another YouTuber, Karina Kopf, wrote, "Your friend's face is gushing blood, but you make sure he stays filming from all angles." Nice. Doherty has previously drawn criticism for similar incidents on his YouTube and Kick accounts. In November 2023, he posted a YouTube video that featured footage of him flipping over a golf cart while his girlfriend was in the passenger seat. Thus, that's the background to what has happened. And it seems like he's got a bit of form for this behaviour. Are you watching a narcissist? Or are you just watching somebody who has experienced the erosion of his emotional empathy? This is caused by his pursuit of filmable content that he can share, which evidently he makes a lot of money from, which naturally would cause people pursuing that money to not take into account how it might affect other people. I'm going to show you the footage now. You will see numerous narcissistic indicators in the course of it. See if you can identify what they are. Feel free to state in the comment section what you have seen for the purposes of determining what narcissistic indicators there are. And then let me know your views. Do you think you're watching a narcissist at work here? Or is it simply somebody who's suffering an erosion of his emotional empathy because he's more focused on making a name for himself on YouTube? Let me know what you think. Here comes the footage.
No! Oh, fuck. No, watch out. Oh, fuck, open the door, open your door. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Oh, Michael. Are you okay? Yeah. Holy fuck. Oh my god, bro. My whole fucking car, bro. No fucking way. Oh my gosh. There's no fucking... Michael, here. Michael, do you have film on that phone too? No. Oh my god.
Do you guys have anything else you need me to get out of the car? Do you want to take that shit so he doesn't have to?
Wait, let him have that. Let him have that. And then McKinley, can you just? I think your nose. Just do this. Can you go on here?
Yeah. As soon as I heard, I cut
Can you come on here on the phone? And McKinley, come. Just make it look good. Look through here the whole time. Go where Michael is. You got driver's license with you?
Yeah, I got you.
You guys, all four of you were in the car?
No. It was just them two. I'm alright.
So what have we witnessed there? Well, the footage starts off with Doherty at the wheel of a sports car, and he is clearly using his phone in some capacity, texting, whilst driving. In most jurisdictions, that is a criminal offence, and behaving that way is demonstrative of the fact that he is behaving in an entitled fashion, showing a lack of accountability for his behaviour, and no emotional empathy for those who are in the car because he's not concentrating on driving. You can see from the conditions in the vehicle, or external to the vehicle, that it's raining quite heavily, which means that the road is wet and the conditions are difficult. Even, of course, were it not raining and it would be a clear and sunny day, his eyes should be on the road at all times. Furthermore, he's speeding in conditions which are unsuitable, which shows a lack of accountability, and he continues to tinker on his phone, notwithstanding the fact that it's raining heavily and that there are other vehicles. At one point, and predictably enough, the vehicle hydroplanes, and he loses control, also demonstrating, of course, his lack of experience as a young driver, and the vehicle turns to the right. It then crashes. Fortunately, he hasn't hit any other vehicles. But again, driving in that manner showed an absence of emotional empathy not only for his passengers, but for other people who were driving on the freeway at the same time. There then follows the frantic comments about opening the door, etc., and the camera's view is obscured. When the footage returns, we can see debris strewn across the freeway, the vehicle in a crash position, and immediately the friend, apparently called Michael, who has sustained an injury. Accordingly, Doherty's lack of emotional empathy has translated into harm to one of his friends. You'll also note that the reaction of Doherty is more concerned about his motor vehicle rather than his friend Michael, who he eventually asks him if he's okay. But firstly, after ensuring that he's getting footage of the wrecked vehicle and the chaos that's taking place behind. It eventually turns to Michael, where he asks him if he's okay, and the bloodied and dazed Michael confirms that he is. You will then have noticed that despite asking if his friend is okay, which seems rather glib and superficial, he then continues to film. He doesn't stop filming and tend to his friend, who has sustained a head injury, and could be feeling dizzy, could be feeling faint, it could be that he suffered something more serious, but there's no concern for him. He's not exhibiting any emotional empathy for his injured friend. Instead, what really concerns him is the state of his vehicle, which would suggest, of course, that were he a narcissist, the status of his vehicle is more important to him because it's an extension of him. His friend is just an appliance to be used, but oh dear, his car, which makes him look good, which he can then triangulate people with for the purposes of control and drawing fuel, has been wrecked, and his response, whereby he clearly is more concerned about what has happened to his vehicle than his friend, speaks volumes about either an absence of emotional empathy or an erosion of it. Doherty continues to announce his shock and horror at the wrecked vehicle, whilst the vehicles in the background are having to get around the debris. Of course, his crash has caused inconvenience to other people and is starting to generate a tailback. Not that he cares. All he's bothered about is continuing to film. Indeed, he invites Michael to film whilst Michael is injured, once again demonstrating what his priorities are. The footage then jumps and we see that an emergency response vehicle has appeared, and there's a young girl and another boy, presumably other passengers in the vehicle, whilst Doherty strolls around more concerned with the content of on his phone, and then instructs the other boy to ensure, get some film, make it look good, keep looking through it at all times. Notwithstanding the fact that he could have injured or killed somebody with his reckless driving, that he could have injured or killed anybody else in the vehicle, that one of his friends has clearly suffered an injury which has caused him to bleed and could be more serious than first appears because it's a head injury. What is his immediate concern? Talk about his vehicle and then instruct his friend to carry on filming and make it look good. That's the footage. Either way, what a little shit he is. But what are you witnessing there? Is this person a narcissist? One who is fixated with utilizing social media as a means to assert control over his audience? That he draws fuel by way of their responses? That he's more interested in ensuring that he has footage that he can put out there for views and for likes, to generate income, to continue to be able to buy expensive playthings such as a McLaren, which he then drives in a reckless fashion? Are we watching a narcissist who had no regard for his passengers or his road users? An individual that is so arrogant and dismissive that he looks at his phone whilst he's driving at high speeds, filming it in poor conditions? Is this an individual who's devoid of emotional empathy, operating with a sense of entitlement, exhibiting no accountability? Quite possibly. It might be, of course, that all of those narcissistic indicators arise as a consequence of the pursuit of fame and money on YouTube and other platforms, which has diminished his emotional empathy for other people around him. However, given that people report that he's had further behaviours, similar activity of filming instances where people have been put at risk, it does rather start to paint a picture. But what this footage is useful for is enabling you to see a high profile, at least in the world of YouTube, individual engaging in a number of behaviours which show various narcissistic indicators. The question then becomes, do we see those narcissistic indicators because he's a narcissist? Or do we see those narcissistic indicators because he's suffering a diminution of emotional empathy as a consequence of his pursuit of filmed footage and views? What do you think? Did you manage to spot all those narcissistic indicators? What do you think you've witnessed there? Narcissist, or just a young foolish idiot who's more focused on getting views, and that has reduced his emotional empathy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for watching.